Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. You are tuned into my weekly talk radio show, Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon here out of the Sunset Gower Studios, Universal Broadcasting Network, and every Thursday and Saturday on my syndicated CNBC News Radio channel, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and now anywhere there's iHeartRadio, just put in Dr. Marissa and you will find me. And this is a show about hope and happiness. So no gossip, no scandal, and no K words, no Kardashian talk at all. No Kanye talk either now. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. And as I do start most of my shows now with a peace shout out. And today, I get to shout out to the Mighty Ducks. Yes, I went to my first hockey game and I was actually on. Actually got to do a Ducks broadcast yesterday at the Discovery Cube in Orange County. So shout out to the people there and to my beautiful, fabulous little great niece, Anna Grace, who makes me just smile. She's visiting from Vancouver for the holidays. And also a peace shout out to Emily, Donna, and Jim, who were there at the Mighty Ducks game. And then for excellent customer service, my shout out goes to Peter at Din Tai Fun. And then to all the fabulous folks that I got to bless at my choir boss, Ricky Beebe's Possibilitopia New Year's Eve party. I think of something, self-criticism, unforgiveness, thinking that you're not as great as you are, eating bonbons and sitting around and doing nothing. Whatever it is that you want to release, I want you to release for 2016. And then 2017, my big brother, Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith, always says we have IDD, intention deficit disorder. So what do you want to intend? What's your dream or wish that you would like to have happen this year? So gently closing your eyes, taking a deep breath in through the nose, thinking of what that is, and then releasing, knowing that it is. And I'm going to give you a little special little short blessing of more peace, prosperity, love, joy, creativity, generosity, kindness, and wonder for 2017. I hope it's the best one ever. And thank you so much to Lola Shadadi today, who is interpreting, making this a special radio for our deaf community series. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I have a very special guest today. And that is Laila Ali, a world-class athlete, fitness and wellness expert, TV host, cooking enthusiast, founder of the Laila Ali Lifestyle Brand, and mother of two. She's the daughter and late beloved global icon and humanitarian Muhammed Ali. She's also herself a 4-time undefeated boxing world champion whose stellar record includes 24 wins, 21 of which were knockouts and 0 losses. Laila is heralded as the most successful female in the history of women's boxing. So you can see she didn't fall far from that tree. She's a familiar face on TV, including last night. I know you all saw Celebrity Apprentice, Dancing with the Stars, CBS Sports Network, Chopped, which she won, and my daughters were very impressed with that. Late Night Chef Fight, and she's been a guest on Rachel Ray and Steve Harvey. For multiple seasons, she hosted ABC syndicated Everyday Health, co-hosted American Gladiators, and CBS All In with Laila Ali. In 2012, when women's boxing was included in the Olympics for the first time, Laila was the first woman in history to provide expert commentary for NBC Sports. She's a past president of Women's Sports Foundation, also a major voice for the 40th anniversary of Title IX, which has protected women's rights to be included and treated equality in collegiate sports. Spokesperson for Subway and Kohl's. I could go on and on and on, but then there wouldn't be time for me to talk to her on the show. So please welcome, without further ado, Laila Ali.
Thank you so much for that wonderful
Yay.
introduction. You made me tired just listening to all that. Oh,
Well, I was saying to you before the show that you're one of the only people that I could actually say is busier than I am. And there's not a lot of us. So congratulations to you.
thank you. I don't know if that's a congratulations, but it's like, ooh, I need a nap.
Yes. And for those of you who are listening and wondering why it is not streaming on Dr. Marissa right now, we can't, it's experiencing a little technical difficulty. So just go to UBN or Universal Broadcasting Network on Facebook and you can stream it there. And Tony, if you're listening, if you could just share it on my Dr. Marissa page, that would be awesome. And then I can focus here. And then while you're at Dr. Marissa, I wouldn't mind you giving me a finger. I'm just kidding. Give me a like. All right. And now, what was it like being the daughter of a man that was literally greater than life?
Well, I don't know any other life than other than my own, and obviously it was wonderful. I mean, I didn't have any complaints. My father is not only a great athlete, one of the greatest athletes in the world. He's also a great man. I hold him on the highest pedestal. He was a wonderful
Mm-hmm.
father.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, we all mourned his loss together. The
Yeah.
entire world did all together, but he's in a better place now.
Yep.
So, but I mean, it was a great experience having him as a role model. And
Mm-hmm.
he really shaped my values and my morals. And he's a big part of who I am today. So,
Absolutely. He's there with my dad too. They're having a
oh,
good time right now.
yeah.
And what would you say what was your favorite memory of your dad?
People ask me that question, and I don't have
Ah,
just a
I thought it was a
sorry.
good one.
I don't have one favorite
Okay.
memory, but I do remember just my father loved people. Our house was like a public place.
Mm-hmm.
With an open door to anyone who wanted to come visit. We lived adjacent to Beverly Hills in a gated community, but people call the guard gate, and he say, "Let him in." So he loved doing
Mm.
magic tricks. He loved entertaining. So as a child, I didn't love that because my home was not like the average
Okay.
home.
Right.
But you know, you gotta love a man who loves people so much.
Yes.
As great as he is, he never thought he was better than anybody else, and he always made time to make people feel like they were more special than he was.
Right, right. Now you lived in this, I mean, you grew up with him until your divorce, your mom's
Hmm.
divorce, sorry. And then here's a funny story that I don't know if I told you. Your stepdad, Carl
Hmm.
Anderson, was actually recorded with a prior guest of mine,
Mm.
Keiko Matsui.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's obviously beloved by our my spiritual community,
Hmm.
Agape. But so once you divorced, you stayed with your mom. How often did you get to see your dad?
When my parents divorced, I pretty much saw father. My father moved out of Los Angeles, so I saw my parents. I'm sorry, I saw my father when he came in town or when we'd go visit. But I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I was a mom's girl, so
Mm-hmm.
it affected my sister more than me. I never remember feeling like, oh, I don't see my dad enough.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it wasn't tough for you.
I know.
No,
Mm-mm.
my dad. I don't see him as often. Or
Yeah,
yeah, when he came
it was
around,
fine.
it
Yeah.
was good. It
Hmm.
was good. Now, what happened when you told him you wanted to box?
I decided that I wanted to box when I first saw women's boxing on television. A lot of people assume that, oh, following her father's
Mm-hmm.
footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the gym with him growing up, and it wasn't like that. I never wanted to box until I saw women boxing with my own two eyes, and I
Mm.
didn't know about it. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, women box.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw it, I wanted to do it.
Right.
I started pretty much training in secrecy. I didn't tell anyone because I wanted to figure out if it's something I really wanted to do or not, or if I had the talent to do. I didn't want to embarrass. I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
Right.
It also was hard because I never wanted to live my life publicly. So it was a turmoil within myself
Ah.
like, wow, if I do this, then I'm going to have to live my life publicly.
Right.
I knew I'd be successful at it,
Mm-hmm.
if I went
Mm-hmm.
forward with it. So
Yeah.
um, but I decided to go for it. It's what my heart wanted to do. And once I was sure, I told my father, and he had already heard through the grapevine that I was training.
Yeah.
And he said, is it true? Are you going to box? And I said, yeah, Dad, I'm going to box. And he tried to talk me out of it every
Mm.
way that he could,
Why?
indirectly, though.
Why?
He said, well, you can really get hurt. And I said, yeah, I know. And he said, the
Mm.
whole world's going to be watching you. It's going to be a lot of pressure on you. I said, yeah, I know. And he
Mm.
said, what happens if you get knocked down? I said, well, I'm gonna get back up just like you did. And so
Mhm.
he went through it. He never said don't do it because he
Okay.
knows me and he
Yeah.
knows I'm like
Just
just
like
like
him.
him. He's like, don't tell me not to do it. That's not gonna do anything but
Yeah.
make me mad. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And make you
Make me
want to
want to
do
do
it
it more.
more.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm. Well, that's why we're sisters.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna show you I can. You
Yeah.
tell me don't.
Yeah.
So, but I already knew that he didn't want me to because my father was a male chauvinist for one. He
Mm.
didn't believe that women should be boxing in the first place
Mm.
because we shouldn't be wearing sports bras and shorts in the ring, even just for something that simple. Let alone did he want
Wow.
his daughter to get hurt? Because he's
Yeah.
Muslim. I wasn't. I've never been Muslim. I
Okay.
rejected the religion at a
Okay.
very young age.
Did it make him mad?
Yeah, he didn't
Yeah,
like
he
that.
didn't like
Yeah, he
that.
didn't like
Okay.
that. But
Okay.
that's why I said he already knew me. He already knew Layla. I'm the same 9-year-old that told Muhammad Ali, who fought for his religion and gave up his career for his religion, like, Dad, I don't want to be Muslim. So I'm the only one out of all of my 9 sisters and brothers that said, hey, this is
No.
what it is, bro.
Ah.
Whether
And
you like it
and
or
and
not.
and and thanks to your genes,
Right.
this is your fault. You
Yeah.
brought this on
Yeah.
yourself.
So he respected me for it. But yeah, we bumped heads a lot on the
Yeah.
way up.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about that head bump,
Uh-huh.
literally. There's a lot of people, and myself included, who I have a hard time watching because the trauma to the head, and then your father,
Mm-hmm.
Parkinson's,
Mm-hmm.
which they're saying is trauma induced. My mother has Parkinson's. She
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a boxer,
Mm-hmm.
but most boxers have some kind of brain injury,
Mm-hmm.
right? The
Yes.
statistics are pretty high.
I
No,
don't. I don't want to say most, but I would. It would
a
make
lot.
sense that we do. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
So one question is, did it bother you watching your father in the ring?
No. And let me just say, cut to the chase.
Yeah, put the
We're a
noose on the
little
table.
crazy. We're a little off. Yeah. To want to box in the first place. Yes. So
Okay.
I cannot sit here and try, and I'm not going to try
Right, right.
to make sense of it for you and be
Okay.
like, no, no, it's safe. No, no, it's okay. No, it's like every single boxer that's come behind my father looks up to Muhammad Ali. He's the greatest and knows what the effects of boxing. And we can say, oh, I don't want to do it. You as
Right.
a fighter, you choose to do it. You're going into a sport in the first place. You can die in the ring. You're getting hit in the
Mm,
head.
yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
So when you say this is what I want to do, you're taking those risks.
Right.
Just like
Right.
anybody else who does any other extreme sport or anything like that. You're like,
Right.
well, they're crazy, but they're people. We just look at life differently. Like
Yeah.
this is what I
And
love to do, and this is what I'm going to do.
right.
With that being said, now that I'm older,
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with my career. I have children. I wouldn't box now,
Okay.
because I'm like, wow, I don't want something to happen to me because I have people who, look or
Right. Counting
depend
on
on me and
you.
counting on me.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a different way of looking at it now because I do miss boxing sometimes. I just want to go to the gym and spar, meaning train, get in the gym,
Right.
get in the ring with the guy. I only sparred with men, so get in the
Why?
ring. Because I'm a big girl. I'm 5'11",
Okay.
168,
Okay.
70 pounds.
Okay.
It's hard to find women your
Right. Right.
size. So yeah, but I don't want to get hurt. So I'm like, I think not. I'll just train in the gym,
Okay.
because of the part about getting hurt. It's like who would want to retire, be okay, but then get hurt because I'm fooling around
Right. Right.
working out,
Right.
right?
So how long was your career boxing?
About 10
10
years.
years. And your I'm trying to share on
It's
Facebook.
okay.
Sorry, I'm
Go on, do
listening
your
to
thing,
you.
girl.
Like we said, I gotta
Hmm.
do everything.
Yes.
Okay, um, so you did it, and you made a conscious decision that I'm done. I've done well.
Hmm.
You had no losses,
Hmm.
right? So some of your critics have said, well, you didn't fight the people that were really good, or you didn't stay long enough, or all of that. What's
Hmm.
your response to those critics?
Well, I have, is it 4 or 5? At least 4, maybe 5 world titles. I forget. That's an effect from boxing.
Okay.
Because I'm super middleweight champ, but I also got a belt at light heavyweight, which I think made it my 5th. And you got to beat world champions to get those belts
Yeah.
from those girls.
Yeah.
But it's true, there were a couple of girls that I never fought, or shall I say, never fought me.
Mm-hmm.
And only thing you can do is look at the opponents that we have in common, because there's a girl, one in particular, Ann Wolf, who, her and I had a rivalry. We were supposed to fight a few times. Actually, my ex-husband was my boxing promoter at the time, and we actually
Mm-hmm.
put her on our undercard, meaning the fight before my fight, to promote our fight, because she finally decided she's finally going to get the nerve to get in the ring
Right.
with me.
Right.
And then she fell out again after that. Like, I wouldn't put somebody on my undercard and promote them for people to say, "Hey, are you going to fight her?" And me go, "No, I'm not going to fight her. She wouldn't fight me."
Right.
But the story
Right.
is I wouldn't fight
Fight
her.
her. Right.
But I
Right.
mean,
Right.
that's part of the reason I retired, because I got tired of training at an elite level.
Mm-hmm.
Because I always came in prepared, no matter who I was fighting, to
Yeah.
defend my titles, and
Yeah.
getting in there with people who just weren't a challenge
Right.
to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you just get tired of it. And then I
Mm-hmm.
got tired of the people who keep saying I don't want to fight them, but they really won't fight me. I can't make
Right.
them fight.
Right. Right.
I've always been capable of doing so much more,
Yeah.
had so many other things that I want to do outside of boxing.
Yeah.
So when it got to the point where I just got bored with it and I wasn't inspired anymore, I went and I've got the titles from all the champions.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's now what's left.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just for people, most of the people listening right now don't follow boxing or women's boxing.
Right.
So that I'm aware of. And there are so many talented women in boxing, just not in my weight class.
Right.
My weight class was 168 super middleweight. You just look, the average woman who's lean and fit is not going to
Could
be
be that.
168.
Right. Right.
So most women would be more around the 140. It has so much talent in that weight
Mm-hmm.
class. But in
Mm-hmm.
my weight class, it was a lot harder for me to
Mm-hmm.
find fights. So I don't want to sit here and make it sound like, oh, I was just so great, I just couldn't find anybody in my weight class. If I was in a different weight class,
Yeah.
smaller,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I would have probably had more competition. Not that I wouldn't have beat them too, but I would have had so much more fun doing it.
And if you're wondering who I have here in studio, from that last comment, there's no question. This is the daughter of Muhammad Ali,
Well, it's just
Laila
the truth.
Ali.
People seem to forget that. Like, I do have the same blood running through my veins. Trust
Yes.
me. They never saw my best. Never. Even in those fights. Like, my best fights were in the gym with the guys, with the world champion men that I was sparring with. Like, with
Yeah.
that's what made the fight so easy for me when I got in there with some of the ladies, which is like, oh god, this is
Right.
boring.
Right.
I would only
Right.
fight right above their level. Why am I going to fight on 20 when you're on 5? I'm only going
Yeah.
to fight on 8.
Yeah.
I'm talking about as
Yeah.
far as my skills and my talent.
Right.
You need someone to bring it
Mhm.
out of you. So I
Right.
got tired of that because I
Right.
knew how much more I was capable of doing.
Right.
So
Well, good for you. Because we need strong role models, and you definitely, literally, figuratively, all the way around are a great
I think I'm a little too strong
boxing.
sometimes. I intimidate people.
Well, I don't know.
I don't
I'd
mean
have to
to.
ask your husband.
Right? No, not him. I would never want to marry a man that was intimidated by me. That wouldn't be fun.
Right, right. And speaking of which, you are married to NFL great Curtis Conway.
Yes.
Tell me how you guys met.
We met.
Inside story.
It's funny. We met through a mutual friend. I actually had just got separated from my first husband. I got married really young.
Okay.
What was I, like 20, 21?
Oh wow, that is young.
very young.
Your husband.
A husband, yeah. So, and I was with him for 4 years, and he was like pretty much guiding me through my boxing career. I do not regret that marriage at all. Maybe should have got a little sooner, but it's what I needed at that time.
Right.
So I had just finally got actually going through my divorce, and Curtis was already divorced, and he had a fight party at his house, and a friend of mine was like, who was a guy, was like, Layla, come with me to this fight party. And I was thinking he might have been attracted to me, and I was like, no, I'm not going with him. I'm not going to show up to a fight party. I'm newly divorced. I wasn't divorced. I just filed.
Right.
People will see me with him,
Yeah,
think something's going on. I was like, I don't need any drama.
Yeah.
So then I talked to one of my girls, and she was like, Layla, just go. Just go have fun. You never go do anything. So I said, okay, fine. So I said, but I'm driving my car separate, so we're not like a date. I'll meet him at this fight party.
Okay.
So we go to the fight party. And then it turns out it's at Curtis is my now husband's house, who I didn't know who he was. I wasn't really a big NFL fan.
Okay.
And then we got to know each other there, and just
It
hit it off right away.
Yeah.
And then it turns out the guy wasn't trying to, he was just trying to take me he wasn't trying to hook up yet.
Okay. He was just.
Yeah, he told me after the party, Curtis, Curtis likes you, Curtis is so shy. He didn't say anything.
Oh.
And I was dropping him hints like, he had this big, nice, like empty house. And I was like, wow, if you ever need help decorating, call me, hint, like ask for my number. And he was like, oh, okay. And let me walk out the door. I'm like, what is with this guy? And then Johnny comes back and was like, hey, Curtis, he wants you to give you his number. I'm like, oh, God, it's funny.
That's
He's so shy. I love it. I know.
That's so cute. So you've been married how long?
We have been married now. We got married in 2007.
Okay. So 9 years. And you have 2 beautiful children?
We do. Yes,
Yeah.
Sydney is 5 and little Curtis is 8. And I have 3
Mhm.
stepchildren he had from his prior marriage.
Mhm.
2 twin boys are 21 and his daughter 17.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Teenage.
We got a lot going on.
I got a 17 and
Uh-huh.
19.
Yep.
I know.
Yep.
That's great. So I meant to ask you what, you said there's so many memories of your dad, but I
Mm-hmm.
know that this is like a special inside look that I get and
Mm-hmm.
my listeners get of your relationship with your dad. What would you say the three things maybe that you inherited that were his key strengths?
Confidence is like number
Really?
one. Confidence is number one. I think compassion,
Mhm.
um, and probably
Thank you.
integrity.
Mm.
And integrity can mean so many things in so many different ways, but I know who I am,
Mm.
and I'm not afraid to let it be known, stand up for myself. And I wish more people would do that.
Yeah,
Because
especially women.
I think that people just live in fear of what other people will think,
Yeah.
what they're going to say, and what they're going to do, and
Yeah.
they're afraid to put themselves on a pedestal a lot of
Yes.
times, and
Yeah.
put yourself first and say,
Yeah.
no, this is how I feel, and I don't care what
Yeah.
anyone else. You don't necessarily have to be as abrasive as I can be sometimes, because I'm working on that. But we all are the way we are for a reason. I went through a lot
Right.
growing up that made me. I have a rough edge to myself. That's why I became a boxer in the first place. And I
Mm.
wrote a book about it. My book, Reach: Finding Strength, Spirit, and Personal Power, was just when I decided to start boxing, and there was a lot of naysayers like, "Oh, she's just trying to use boxing to, as a platform to become a model or to come," because they couldn't believe that I would actually just want to be a fighter. And I'm like, why would I want
Mhm.
to box to become a model? That doesn't make any sense. Like, do you
Right.
know what can happen in the ring? Like how
Yeah, you won't
dangerous it
be a
is?
model anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it didn't, and it took me boxing for 10 years and winning titles for them to say, "Oh, she's really serious about this."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wrote this book to talk about just the dysfunctional upbringing that I had and what I went through that made me want to be a fighter, put the fighter in me in the first place.
Use that anger
I used
or
that,
use
yeah,
that
and I used all
experience.
that fuel in the ring, and the opponents
Mhm.
didn't even know. It wasn't even
Mm.
about them. This is
Right.
my outlet. Yeah.
Right. 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 And then you get titles for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So what would you say is one thing that you wish your dad wasn't?
Probably. I probably that he didn't have so much infidelity.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Putting that moose on the table,
Well,
huh?
it's public
Yeah.
knowledge.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's something that I think he would also say for
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah. Why do you think that was?
Because I think it's really hard, not as an excuse, but it's really hard when you have women throwing themselves at you all the time.
Mm.
The average man does not, so they can't even comprehend
Yeah.
what that would
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
to have it just served up to you on a platter
Right.
all
Right.
the time,
Right.
nonstop. This is like a beautiful man.
Mhm.
He's looked up to, is powerful, even by men talk about how beautiful this man is. I'm talking not gay men,
Right.
I'm talking about
Right.
straight men.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
he just, everyone loved Muhammad Ali, and then he just
Mhm.
was a ladies type of guy too,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it just depends on what kind of guy you are, and there's some just fall to it. So
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
loved beautiful women,
Yeah. Okay.
so
All right. Yeah.
you
I
gotta know
I
what you're
actually
signing up for, though. Like, I think when you're marrying someone like that, you making a decision. Don't think he's going to change for you, because it's not about how beautiful. I mean, my mom is one of the most beautiful women in the world. He
yeah.
cheated on her,
Yeah.
so it's not. Look at Holly Berry. She's considered one of the most beautiful. The men have cheated on her, so it's not about how beautiful you are or not.
Yeah.
If someone
Yeah.
wants to do it, that's what they're going to do.
Right. Your mom was good with him
What do you mean?
after the
Oh
divorce?
yeah, definitely.
Everything was
You have to love my father.
you
He's
just can't stay
so
mad at him.
many great things. There's just so many great things about him, that
Yeah.
even the things that weren't, so nobody's perfect. It's
True.
like, I don't care if you think you are, you're not.
Mhm.
And if you had to live your life an open book, trust me, there would be a whole lot in there people could see. So my father, if we were going to judge him on being a great dad, you wouldn't he wasn't a great father.
Mm.
But at the same, you cannot travel the world and be there for everybody
Do that.
and be
Be
a
a
great
great
dad.
yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
have to, somebody's going to suffer somewhere,
Mhm.
because you just can't do it.
Right.
you know
Right. Right. That's a very well balanced way
it's true.
to
I don't
yeah.
complain about it, but it's true. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't feel like I had a dad.
Mm. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was, he's dad, but it wasn't like I could, he wasn't there just, for all the moments and all those things, but I understood why.
Right. Right. Before, but the pictures that I saw of you with him after you were boxing, he
Hmm.
was very, he obviously had a turn of heart about you boxing. He was very proud. He was very happy. He was very supportive when you were winning, or it never did.
No,
And
he
the
didn't.
pictures looked like
Yeah,
that.
well, he didn't never. He never liked it.
Okay.
But he also agreeing the great person that he is. He's going to support me. I'm his daughter. He
Mm-hmm.
understood how important that was.
Right.
But at the same time, he didn't like it. If I was like, at any moment, Dad, I'm gonna quit, he'd be like, okay, phew, good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It
Yeah.
wasn't like my mom either was so excited when I told her that I was in a box. She wasn't like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's perfect. That's great. I love it. She was
Yeah.
like, oh God, not again. Now I have to go through this.
Oh,
But she wasn't going to tell me
okay.
that because she knew,
Right.
my mom is science of mind, been at Agape. She understands I got to do what my
Yes.
heart desires. So she
Yeah.
supported me. But
Yeah.
in secrecy, she was like, oh God, I don't want my baby to do this.
Right, right,
So,
right. I have the same
hmm
reaction too.
hmm
Absolutely. And it is thanks to Ricky Byers Beckwith. I'll give you that peace in, peace out, my choir boss, that I actually got to meet you at her fundraiser for Kuumba School. And so thank you, Ricky Sheshe, for the connection. Otherwise, I wouldn't have met you. And you call Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith your big brother, as I do. So that makes us sisters.
Yes,
So I'm glad
yes,
we met. And we
yes.
definitely have quite a bit more in common than I actually even thought.
Hmm.
So it's beautiful. And now you have your own radio show.
I do. I do. I'm gonna be doing my own podcast on Podcast One. It's called Laila Ali Lifestyle, and it's just an extension of the brand that I've been building. I have the LailaAliLifestyle.com, which is my health, wellness, fitness,
Mhm.
becoming great blog, and I'm just going to have an extension of that on the radio. So it's going to be starting January 5th. It's not going to
Right.
be live like yours. I
Okay.
record
Okay.
until I'm a pro. I ain't trying to go live yet. I ain't there yet, girl. I need a little editing here and there. But yeah, and then it'll be available on iTunes. You can subscribe. So I'm excited. I'm excited for it because it's a new venture for me. It's a challenge, which I
Yeah.
love. I mean, boxing was my
Yeah.
first love. I did that. I'm done. So everything else
Yeah.
after that is just kind of, I've been hosting shows. I'm trying to figure out what it was that I was going to be passionate about. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm really passionate about helping people take control of their life through fitness, health, wellness, nutrition, just holistic health,
Mm-hmm.
becoming confident, becoming strong, and kind of going on a journey together. And those are the
Yeah.
things that I want to talk about on my show. So even though I would call myself an expert because I have experience and I know more than the average person, I don't know everything. I'm still learning along the way. So I want to invite different guests on, just like you. And I'm going to have
Mhm.
you on my
Oh,
show
oh,
also.
all right.
Uh, and,
Yay.
so we just want to go along for the ride together. So, yeah.
Yay. Yay. That sounds great. So how do they find you again? Podcast.
Podcast1.com, or you can go to iTunes and it's Laila
Just
Ali Lifestyle
Laila
and
Ali
subscribe.
Lifestyle.
Yep.
Great,
Hmm.
great. And we are going to be back. It is time in the show to thank the sponsors who make this show possible. So we'll be back in 2 and 2. Peace in and peace out. Do you get yelled at for playing too many computer games? Do you want to make more money playing a computer game? Do you want to give back to organizations that are doing good around the world? Well, then you'll want to join the Esports Amateur Competitors League, the brainchild of a millennial and her dad. Go to www.theeaclOPP and be part of a movement changing the way we look at the world. That's www.theeaclopp.com. And welcome back. You are tuned into my weekly talk radio show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at Naturally High, noon out of the Sunset Gower Studios on Universal Broadcasting Network, and every Thursday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 1 Pacific Standard Time out of my CNBC syndicated news radio channel KCAA AM 1050 FM 106.5 FM 102.3, and now anywhere iHeartRadio is, just put in Dr. Marissa and you'll find me. Thank you so much also for all of my listeners. My YouTube views of since I have cameras in the studio are now almost 76,000. So thank you, Shishya, and Happy New Year to you. And we are talking to Laila Ali, the beautiful, powerful daughter that didn't fall too far from
Thank you.
Muhammad Ali's tree. And now I'm going to take some time to use you as my coach because it is the new year and
Mhm.
this is your expertise. And I actually started a group on Facebook called Feel Good and Look Good Naked
I like that.
with Dr. Marissa and also with Dr. Lionel King, who you have to meet too. I think we'd be a great threesome, but he's coming on in February. But I wanted to use the momentum of the new year. So I have this little group, and every day I post and I put polls down on why it's so difficult to lose weight or
Hmm.
what I'm working on. And so one of the questions that came up is, as you're losing weight, how do you tone? How do you keep, the sag?
Hmm.
Because I'm hoping for some sag,
Hmm.
because I'm hoping
That
to
means you
lose,
lost weight, right?
yeah, I'm hoping to lose the weight that I've gained. So that's the first question.
Well, I think that it's important to do physical exercise and do some toning exercises. There's so many different ways, of course, to do it. But if you were doing some light weight,
Hmm.
or if you were using your body weight, right?
Right.
Not necessarily push-ups, but something like that. That's where you're using your body weight, where you're
Okay.
working your arms and your
Hmm.
core, or you're
Hmm.
doing planks, or you're doing Pilates or yoga. Whatever it is you're doing, you want to be pushing yourself. You want to be feeling a burn. If you're not feeling a burn, you're not doing anything. So I've seen people at the gym. They like to just say they're going to the gym. They got on their cute outfits and they got on
Right.
their
And they
makeup.
post it on
Yeah,
Facebook
and
like
they're
I do.
yeah, and they're. But I'm saying they might be with their friend and they're talking and it's a social hour.
Yeah.
But it's like if you're really working, you're not going to be able to do that. So you need to
Okay.
at least spend a little bit of
Focus.
time focus and
Hmm.
actually pushing yourself, because
Yeah.
that's how you change your body. That burn is the change that's
Right.
actually happening. So
Right.
there's so many different ways to do it.
Okay, now where's the balance in that? Because I teach balance Tai Chi
Mhm.
Gong, and I said one
Mhm.
of the only rule is no critical thinking,
Mhm.
and you don't push your body. So
Mhm.
when your body's hurting, you don't make it hurt more.
Okay, but
So
what kind of
where's the
hurt are we talking about?
balance? So okay, so I'm a great example.
Mhm.
I had a hip replaced,
Mm.
and before the hip was replaced, I couldn't do any exercise except swim
Mhm.
because everything bothered the joint.
Mhm.
After the surgery, I probably should have done more of those exercises, but 5 years later, not 5 years, 3 years later, I still am at the point, if I'm on the bike or I'm on the treadmill, it hurts the
Right.
joints. And so now I'm back in the pool. So I
Right.
do the pool.
And does it hurt?
That doesn't hurt.
Well, that's a good exercise for you.
Okay.
And in the pool, you know how they have the little things you can strap onto your legs
Yeah.
and your arms and
Yeah.
you can do resistance.
Yeah.
And you definitely don't want to push where you're in pain.
Okay.
A burn is different.
Okay.
A burn is kind of like, okay, when you're doing sit ups or something and you
Yeah.
start feeling that burn, you want to go
Yeah.
past that burn. You don't want
Yeah.
to stop right when you feel the burn,
Yeah.
because you are going to your brain is going to tell you, oh, protect yourself, stop.
Yeah.
But that's what a trainer does. It helps you push past a certain point. No, give me three more, because until you get to
They
that burn,
lie. They lie.
yeah,
They ain't ever three more.
it's not working. Like my father had a saying where he said, when he's doing push-ups, he doesn't stop. Like you're not working until you get to the burn. So once you get to the burn, then you go, okay, I'm gonna go 3, 5, 10 past the burn, and
Okay,
then
so
that's
now
where you
I'm going to
tighten.
put the moose on the table. What if you're a person that just is like, but I really don't want to do
Then you really don't want to look good
that.
naked.
Ooh,
I know, but I mean, it just is what it is, and that's fine. It's not always about just looking good. It's about
Mhm.
feeling good and being healthy. And a lot of times people say, okay, it's good for your bones, it's good for your muscles, it's good, to do light weight. Some people don't like weight, so they
Yeah,
might want to go walking,
yeah.
but I'll say pick up your pace. You want to do something because it's good for you.
Mm-hmm,
And then you
mm-hmm.
just have to accept, like, if you don't want to put those people that look so good that you see, trust me, they're putting in work. It's not just happening overnight.
Right,
And some
right.
people love to work out. Like I love to work out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
some
I
people
wish
don't.
that's what I wish. I
Yeah,
wish I
that
could
you loved
get
it,
that.
right?
That yeah, I
Yeah,
wish I
I know,
loved
I
it.
get it, and that's the same thing people say with cooking. Like I love to cook, and some people love to
You've
eat,
got
but
a recipe book coming out.
oh, I
I'm
do,
gonna
I do. We can talk about that.
Yeah,
But some people are like, I wish I liked to cook, and you can't make yourself like
yeah,
something.
yeah,
So really,
yeah,
it's just how bad do you want it, and then
yeah,
trying to find something that you like to do. Some
yeah.
people don't like to work out, but they like to dance. Okay, go dancing. You're
Okay,
gonna get a workout in.
okay.
Yeah.
So let's put the moose on the table about balance then,
Hmm.
because okay, women, um, so I joke around and say I wish I was born in the Renaissance, right?
Hmm.
So then nice plumpy. I'm not fat. I'm puffy. That kind of rounded look is okay, is good. And then some people will say, well, why can't like Oprah? they call me the honorable moniker, the Asian Oprah. She's been very public about how she has,
Hmm.
gone up and down. And I'm now in the same boat, not because I want to be like her in that
Right, right,
area, but I look at myself and it's like some people say, well, just be fine where you are. Like,
right,
you've had two
right.
children, you've had a hip replacement, you look good with clothes on.
Hmm.
And I did a couple years of that trying to be okay, and now I'm like, no, I'm not okay. I don't feel, I don't feel attractive without my clothes on.
And that's the key. It's about how you feel. So
Mm.
for me, it's not about what's accepted and what's not, because I never look at magazines and go, oh, this is the way that I'm supposed to look, because those people don't even look like that. They've been
Right,
retouched, and some of
right,
them do.
right.
Some of them are thin. They're not eating anything, whatever. For me, I like to focus on health
Yeah, yeah.
and what's good for you. So if you're carrying around 40 extra pounds of fat
Mm-hmm.
on your body, first of all, it's not just your stomach sticking out, it's wrapped around your organs on the
Mm.
inside of your stomach as well.
Mm-hmm.
Stomach fat is some of the unhealthiest type of fat,
Mm.
right? So really I think about, okay, what do I need to do for myself that's going to be healthy? I'm going to start eating right. I'm going to eat clean. Naturally, you're going to start losing the fat, right? And then we're talking about toning now, because you said you want to lose weight.
Right,
That's a
right.
whole different thing. That's about the look, right? You
Yeah,
want to look a certain
yeah,
way.
yeah,
You're going to have to do some of the work,
yeah,
right? That it
yeah.
takes. But people need to not worry about, because it does kind of irk me a little bit when people like, I'm big and I'm beautiful. Okay, I don't want you to feel bad about yourself when you're
Right,
big, but you
right.
still should be trying to work towards getting healthy, because carrying 100 extra pounds or 50 extra pounds, imagine carrying a big 50-pound weight with you every day in your
Mm.
hands. Do you think that's going to wear your body down at a certain
Yeah,
point? It's going
yeah,
to start wearing on you. It's
yeah,
not good for you.
yeah.
So
It's
it's
not
not
good for
just
your
about the
heart.
look,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I don't want people say, oh, but I'm healthy, I go to my doctor, because they're comparing you to people nowadays who hardly anybody's healthy. Like, in the average people, I mean, they're eating unprocessed food. I'm sorry, processed
Processed food.
food,
Yeah.
junk, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
okay. And then
Yeah.
they're taking all these pills and medicine and all these things. That's not healthy.
Yeah.
So who are you
Yeah.
being comparing yourself to? Compare
Right.
yourself to someone who's really healthy, and you're not going to be looking that
Right.
healthy.
Have you always been healthy?
No, I started when I was before I started boxing, when I was 17, 18.
Mm-hmm.
I was like the average person. I was 30 pounds overweight. I ate junk food. I was a
Right.
teen. I could get away with it.
Right.
But I still was overweight, but it was fine. I didn't feel like I was that overweight.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it came to boxing, you really have to look at your weight, because it's like, what weight
Oh,
class
right.
am I
Right.
going to
Right. Right.
fight in?
Right. Right.
And you want to fight at a weight class as low as you can, where you're still
Mm-hmm.
strong, because
Mm-hmm.
if you're fighting 175-pound girls, they're stronger than the 140-pound girls. So if you can get down to
Right.
140, you want to fight at 140.
Right. Right. Right.
But I'm
Right.
a natural, like, I weigh 190 right now today.
Yeah.
I was
And
fighting at 168. I don't look like I weigh
no,
190
you
because
don't.
I can carry it. But
Yeah.
as a boxer, I would be much slower. And
Yeah.
it just did.
Not as.
Yeah, it's not,
Yeah.
if you're chiseling your body and you're training every day, it's just naturally going to come off.
Right. Right. Right.
So I say that to say, when I started boxing, I said, what does it take to be the greatest boxer? What does it take to be a world champion, to be undefeated? And it came down to sleep.
Mm.
It came down to focus, having my priorities in balance, eating certain foods that would fuel my body. It wasn't
Right.
about just the food anymore, whether it was fattening or not,
Right.
because I could eat whatever I wanted. I burned 10,000 calories a day, training 3 times a
Yeah.
day. It
Yeah.
wasn't about
Maybe I should look into boxing. Hmm.
it's a great workout.
Good as a
You're
goal.
naturally tone up. But yeah, so that's when I learned about how food affects your performance.
Hmm.
And then from then on, I just started, when I had kids, I got a non-GMO and organic, and just learned a lot of research just from being
Hmm.
online and reading
Hmm.
books and things like
Hmm.
that. And nutrition is a fledgling science. They tell you one thing one day and it
Right,
changes
right,
another
right.
day.
Something
So
was good and now it's
right,
not good.
but if
And
you have balance, like, no one's ever going to
it's all
say
about
don't eat
balance.
more vegetables, don't
Right,
eat, drink a lot of water.
right.
Some people say, oh, a fruit has too much sugar, don't eat that. But no one got big from eating fruit,
Right.
right? So really,
Right.
just imagine, it's just about what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just keeping it, eating, lean meats and fruits and vegetables and whole foods that came from the earth, not
Right.
something from a package,
Right.
not something from a can, not something from a drive-through that's got
Right.
chemicals and colors and things in it to make you crave it. People don't
Right.
realize they put things in the food.
Right.
Sugar is like 8 or 9 times, I forget what the number is, more addictive than cocaine.
Right.
That's why we have
Right.
the problem that we have. You're literally addicted to sugar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
So for the very few minutes we have left, this is personal again. What about people who, even though everyone else says you look fine, they have um, I guess the term is body dysmorphia. Like
Hmm.
no matter how thin I am, I don't think I look thin enough or good in my body. Have
Yeah.
you ever like what is your have you ever like looked at your body and it's perfect and you go, I still need to lose weight?
Oh yeah, I'm really hard on myself. I'm always judging myself, but
Okay.
it comes from a different kind of place a
Okay.
little bit because I was an athlete
Uh-huh.
and I've been at my best and I know
Yeah.
what that looks like. So I'm always striving to be back there.
Right.
Like I look at my face now, I'm like, oh, my face is heavy, it's round, I got a little bit,
Y-
jump a chin down here,
y-
and it's because it runs in my family. Like my dad had a, if you look at when he got older, he got a big head, and I'm like, God, this Ali head, or whatever it is, and there's certain things like I see myself on TV. You look 10 pounds heavier on TV, but
right.
I'm not.
But
I'm comparing myself to myself.
right,
So, and
right.
I truly believe, like, I'm like, man, if I could, because I like to eat and I like sugar.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
drink coffee sometimes just because I want the sweetness that's in it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's a challenge for me, and I'm real about that. Like I'm always about 10 pounds heavier than I want to be because I don't want to go that hard.
Yeah.
So, but I have my limit to where I'm like, okay, now you need to watch it. But working on my cookbook, which my first cookbook coming out in
Yep.
fall of this year, probably around Thanksgiving. But I was working on it for the past 8 months. I was doing a lot of eating, and it
Mhm.
wasn't really working out because I was so focused on getting it done. I
Right.
gained like 10 pounds. So
Right.
now I was like, for the new year, that's fun to me. I get to
Yeah.
get it off, and I'm
Yeah.
inviting people to do this challenge with me.
Okay.
All the people on my Facebook page and on my social media. I'm like, let's do this challenge together.
All right.
So I'm I think it makes them feel good to know, like, no, I gain weight too, and I can get it off.
Yeah,
Even if it's just 10, we all have
absolutely.
our personal goal,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And here
Yeah.
it's like you're a fitness and wellness expert, and you're giving us advice because
Right,
you gain
right.
weight. Yeah,
Right, right.
but I'm
Yeah.
going to show you how to get it off now, and
Yeah.
we could do it together.
Right.
So
Right. That's
yeah,
right. You're doing it on Facebook?
I am. Yeah,
Okay. So
yeah,
another group to join. You'll
yes.
join hers and join mine.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll do it together.
Whatever. I mean, people find inspiration in so many different ways. You may say something a certain way and it connects with somebody. I
Right.
may say something another way and it connects somebody, but we're all trying to
Mhm.
do the same thing. We all want to be happy. We all
Yes.
want to be loved. We all want to love ourselves.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to feel good about themselves.
Right.
And
Right.
it's like I just think we need to stop comparing ourselves to other people
Mhm.
and work on your personal best. And when you make your health your priority, then that's when you can say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to listen to Dr. Marissa. I'm going to listen to Layla. I'm going to put myself
Yeah.
first. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to eat clean. Then you're going to lose weight.
Yeah.
You're going to feel better. You're going to going to have
Yeah.
more energy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everything just kind of starts falling in
I'm
place.
so glad this is going to be a podcast. I can play this over and over in the morning. That's for me when I because there is and what is it, the percentage of New Year's resolutions that fall off is usually 4 or 5
Right.
weeks, and part of that is, I think you nailed it. It's how do we love ourselves enough to do something for ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
But we have all this other, and I told people to yesterday, just put all the things that have ever negative things that have been told to you. You look, you're so beautiful. Why don't you lose the weight? You could, or whatever, or how could you let yourself go? Or you're so disgusting. And my husband used to tell people I was obese, and so these
Get those people out your life
messages,
for one.
right? He's out. So, but
And
but
everyone
those
else listening. You got
voices,
someone saying mean things to you, get them out your life.
yeah, yeah. So hide those from your timeline.
Yes,
That's
definitely.
that's something
For
that
sure.
is not helping. So just let that go.
Mhm.
And I have to do that.
Mhm.
That's the advice that I really do need to
Yeah, and take
take.
responsibility. It's like we want to do
Yeah.
something, make it a priority, make it happen.
Yeah.
Like I have to write things down because I do, because life happens and you get busy. I like to write things down, set my intentions, and then like in the beginning of each day, don't wait till the beginning of the year to start something new.
Mhm.
Every day is a new day.
Yeah.
If you fell off, don't be hard on yourself. Be like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna do it today.
All
And
right,
that's all.
everybody in my group that's listening, we've got some great advice to follow through on, and we're coming almost to the end of the show. So I wanted also, you're on Celebrity Apprentice. I had a bunch of people message me about that, and put it on the notice, and that's so great. And I said, yeah, she's a guest, and someone corrected me, and they go, no, she's going to be on all season.
That's funny. Yeah, well, because
I'm
you don't
like,
watch
oh,
the
I'm
show.
sorry. Yeah, I know. Sorry.
And some people aren't. Some people are boycotting the show. Because Donald Trump used to host the show. And I was actually asked to do it 4 times, and I turned it down. And
Mm.
then they have Arnold Schwarzenegger. We shot the show back in February of 2016 when it wasn't even conversation anymore. It's like, okay, Donald Trump isn't doing the show. It
Right.
was like, oh, great. Okay,
Yeah.
we shot the show. Then the whole presidency candidate thing came up, and
Mm.
now people. He announced recently before the show started that he's still an executive producer. His name is going to roll in the credits.
Mm.
He's not involved in the show, but none of us knew that. So people are like, oh my God, you sold out. You did the show. I'm like, I
Re-
shot in February. It wasn't even an issue back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, it's raised $15 million for charities over the
There you
years.
go.
You know, so I raised money for my charity. You know, it was still a great experience. There's nothing I can do now except
Yeah.
ride it right out the wave. But
Yeah.
it was a
Yeah.
fun show. It's gonna be these last 2 episodes. I didn't really say much because I didn't need to. You know, I didn't get in any situations, but you know, as people get put off the show, you see more of each person because they have more time, more airtime for each of
Right.
us.
Right.
There's like 16 people that they had to get in.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
they're gonna
Yeah.
start trickling away, and then you'll see me more. People like, I want to see you more, talk more. Like I didn't have anything to say. So.
Well, they can always go to the podcast. You got plenty
Right,
to
right,
say there,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
Right. There you go. You're move it in there. And your book. Tell me about your book.
So I have one book called Reach: Finding Strength, Spirit, and Personal Power, which I'm actually going to what do you call it? Put it out again. I want to because it's
Re-release.
yeah, re-release
Mhm.
it. It's a great book. And then my book, my cookbook will be coming out in November. And I'll, you know, if you follow my pages, I'll keep all the, you know, information out about when that comes out. But I'm really excited about that.
Yay.
So
And your home recipes, your healthy recipes, your favorite recipes, all of the above.
oh yeah, definitely. I worked with a writer, and she helped me develop my own recipes, and we also created new recipes together because I had a lot of recipes, but not enough for a whole cookbook.
Right,
You know, I
right,
had
right,
100
right.
and over 120 recipes in this cookbook, but I pretty much took foods that we all love, some of the comfort foods, some of
Mhm.
my favorite recipes, and more,
Okay.
and made them as nutritious as possible. So it's not a health book.
Right.
It's a cookbook because I
Okay.
believe that healthy food. Why does it? Because it's healthy, have to be a health book.
Right,
It's
right,
the way
right.
we're supposed to eat.
Tasteless and
No,
whatever. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be the bomb.
Right. So I think that'll be a good Asian Oprah giveaway if you can
Yeah, for
promise a book
sure,
when it
for
comes
sure.
out
And
to
yes,
yes, so
and I
you
brought
can
some photos for you today.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
to some 8x11s to give away. I have 3 of them.
Oh,
I'll
yay. So
autograph them.
we've got 4 Asian Oprah giveaways. So let's do one on Facebook. The first one to message me, Laila Ali, will get a poster, and then the cookbook and another poster from my website, the number 4 balance.org, in the guest register on the subject line, 1 poster and 1 book, and then the last one on my LinkedIn. How about that? We'll do the message there, and then you will get 4 Asian Oprah giveaways with Laila
Woo!
Ali. All right. And we are at the end of the show. We've got a couple minutes left. Who would you like to give a shout out to that has helped you in your life that you want to publicly on the air say, 谢谢, which
So
is
many.
Mandarin. 谢谢.
So many. I would definitely my husband. I mean, he's my best friend and such a supporter. He knows how to get the message to me clear. He's, you know, if something needs to be said, he knows how to say it. Reverend Michael Beckwith, he has been amazing. I mean, I've been a member of Agape since I was 12 years old.
Mm.
He married me both times.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And you know, he's been amazing, and he's always supportive. I can call him whenever, and just everybody, all my friends and family. I mean, I only have so many. I can count on, you know, 2 hands.
Yeah.
And they all know that I love them dearly, and you know, my children,
Mm.
of course, I do everything I do for them.
Yeah.
They're the ones that give me the strength to keep going.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask you one tip for working single moms. Actually, not you're not single, but working moms who are trying to do all any one thing that's helped you.
I would just say that is like the thorn in my butt every day is being a working mom, and I'm a mom who does it all. I groceries when I leave here, I'm going to the grocery store. I was like, I gotta get groceries. And I love doing it, you know, and I love to cook, and I do it all.
Yeah.
And it's so hard finding that balance because then I'm tired. I get in my bedroom, my husband's looking at me like, yeah, it's time to get down. I'm like, oh Lord, I'm tired. I never thought I'd be that one whose husband's complaining he don't get it enough. I'm like, golly, can we schedule that too? Oh Lord. Anyway, he's like, why do we have to schedule it? I'm like, look, do you want it or not? Because we're gonna have to schedule it. Don't get offended by that. But anyway, I release. So moms, we are in this together. It's not easy. I don't have any good answer for you, but I know that what I want to do this year, because I'm just like, always all over. I get anxiety when I think
Right.
about everything I have to do for the day, and I make all these little post-it notes and things.
Right. Right. Right.
It's just to get the most important things done. Like I
Yeah.
make a long list,
Yeah.
but I need to start putting the most important things on top of my list, the things that
Right.
I don't necessarily want to do that
Right.
give me anxiety. Get
Triage.
them out the way.
Triage. Right.
Get them out
Yeah.
the way, and
Yeah.
then just let the other stuff kind of fit in where it needs to, because it's just too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't do it all.
Yeah.
So
And you have to be the one who says, at the end of the day, have I done the best that I can with the time that I have and the resources I have? Yes, I did good.
and if you didn't, because sometimes I'm gonna be like, no, I could have done things a little better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
shouldn't have sat on the phone with my
Yeah.
friend for that hour
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
whatever it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah.
next day I'll
Yeah.
correct that, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
but it's true. I mean, it's just like, okay,
Yeah. So take a breath.
I'm taking the breath.
You are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank
Wasn't
you.
sure
I love
if
that
I was
audience.
going
I love
to.
that audience.
Isn't that great?
I'm gonna steal that
It's
idea
so
for my
for me.
podcast.
All right. All right. Just as long as you mention it.
I'm messing with you.
And it's at the end of the show and time for my weekly balance bar, where I invite you to come and balance with me. It is day 3 on the 21-day fast from complaining, round 66. And the tip for today is it's easier to stop a bad habit like complaining if I have a new habit to replace it with, like gratitude. So starting today, if you'd like to go public with me and do gratitudes every morning from now until the 21st day of the fast, please do. Dr. Wayne Dyer suggests 5, but I'm a recovering overachiever, so I do 8 because 8 is a lucky number in Chinese. It's a homonym for good fortune. So as soon as you get off the air today, as soon as I get off of the air, and as soon as you, before you go grocery shopping, but you're still having lunch with me, is to do 8 gratitudes of what and who you are grateful for. And I promise, if you do this for the next 21 days, it will make such a difference in your life. Anyone who is interested in joining both Layla's group or mine, my group is called Feel Good and Look Good Naked. And it is both a group and there's an event that you can go to Facebook. Welcome back. I just love this new series that I had an inspiration to do because I get to go back into my treasure chest of past shows. And Black History Month is now, and Laila Ali is a wonderful example of there's no hold back and you can do anything you want to. And she gives credit to where we both our big brother, Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith, the Agape International Spiritual Center, and we share that. And the reason why I picked her is because I put up Will I Am, who was singing and performing on Sunday, and put her name as well as Stevie Wonder and let's see, Sterling Brown, Christina Applegate. Everyone is important, but it's so nice to share this fabulous way of living with some names. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to put her up here for Throwback Thursdays. And if you heard her say that, I put in the chat because I'm backstage just enjoying the interview as much as you are. And the fabulous thing that she said, she had a podcast. Let's get the name of it, Lifestyle. And it was a great podcast. And she, as you saw, in the interview, she was going to have me on. And my publisher said, wait till the book is out. And that was back in 2018. And the book got published and she stopped doing the podcast. So my life motto for the past is no regrets. And that's the closest one that I have in terms of a regret. So anyways, but it was so nice. And she came on again. You can find that interview on my YouTube TV channel. Please subscribe. It's free. And then You'll get a link every weekday morning to tune in. Tomorrow is Friday, so it's Straight Talk, and it's the third Friday, so it'll be Ricky Rebel. And he is a Billboard recording artist signed by Michael Jackson and then by Madonna. He's still putting lots of discography. I like that word, but I can't say it out there. And so we always have a great time when he's co-hosting. So that's tomorrow at 9, right after the NBC News on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using a Kip Balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, iTunes, Tune in. I have to relearn to say that because I found out that Stitcher's not here, and that kind of throws my lineup out. It's kind of sad to hear that they're not here anymore, but business decisions by people. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed listening to and watching and experiencing American Sign Language, which is my favorite language in the world. And I have a series called Radio for Our Deaf Community. And of course, there's cameras, so it's radio/TV, and you can share that with anyone. James Bolesky is one of the first people that I thought of to do this for, and he's still connected through socials. So hopefully he saw the alert for this. And that's it. We didn't do gratitude sandwich. I'll just end with the top gratitude is I am grateful for life. I'm glad the planets did not crash into each other last night. And I have an entire day now to live, love, laugh, learn, respect, create, innovate, and play. Actually, I'm going to be doing my taxes. So I'm going to have a reward for sorting through 1,000 pieces of paper, but we all get to do it. And best case scenario is the money in taxes helps with public schools, and teachers in public schools are probably really underpaid. So I don't want to hear about it, but we are a democratic country, and we do have wonderful programs that are supported by our taxes. So that's the way I choose to see it. And if you live anywhere else in the world, it's way more. I left Canada, some of you know, partially because I watched my father pay as a chemical engineering professor at University of Waterloo 55% tax, which is a lot of tax. So that always makes me feel better when I do my taxes every year. All right. I hope you go and have it's and remember, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow.